How we doing, everybody? Dave with CaribSea, and today we're going to set up a 65-gallon cichlid aquarium. Now we're going to use the same 65 corner overflow that we did our saltwater setup. I know it's not traditional, but I think you'll see we can take a lot of benefits from what we've learned in saltwater back to the freshwater arena. We're going to start out with our rhizomat. This is a brand new product. A lot of times when you do plants with cichlids, it just doesn't work. They either nip at the plants, or because they love to dig, they tend to root them up. So what we're going to show on this video is a way to still put some plants in and for them to not dig them up. We're going to take our mat, we're going to root our plant into it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our gravel. We're going to be using our Complete African Cichlid mix. We're going to use the Zach Black. We're going to fill in with our South Seas shelf cut, South Seas traditional pieces, and I think we're going to throw a couple pieces of our Life Rock branch on top just to give it a little more three-dimensional look. We're also going to go back to the rubble zone. Was not designed for cichlid aquariums, but there are definitely applications for it. We could fill up our overflow with it. We're going to continue to still use our eShop's R100 sump. Instead of using a protein skimmer, how about we fill up that area with this 2 gallons of rubble zone? That's going to help stabilize your alkalinity and your pH. After that, we're going to top it off with our ready water. This is a preconditioned RO water, and let's get started. Okay, we've got our aquarium in place. Should look familiar. Here's our rhizomat. Now, what you want to do is soak this in water. You don't have to. We recommend soaking it at least overnight, if not 2 days, just to help release some of the excess tannins. It's going to help us clear up a little bit. We do this in a 12 by 12 and a 12 by 24. This is not going to be an entire planted aquarium, so we don't need to have the entire bottom of the tank covered. But because we're trying to anchor these plants, you're going to see how this is going to work. Now we've got a couple plants, and what I'm going to do, I think we're going to set this in right here, and we're going to have our plants growing in this area right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of make a hole. You can see. I'm going to go ahead and force the plant down in. Once we get the gravel in, we're going to form our plants up. But this gets the roots underneath the mat immediately. Now we're going to use our shelf cut South Seas base rock, because we're going to put this right down to the floor of the tank. It's going to make a nice stable platform. Okay, let's put the gravel in. Okay, don't forget, Be looking for your clarifier packets. We want to save those till the end. I got lucky, mine was right on top. Don't forget, pour the entire contents of the package into the tank. Okay, what I want to try to do now, we may need to put one more bag in. I'm going to go ahead and kind of form our sand around, check our low spots. Also, don't forget, clarifier packet number 2. I've smoothed the majority of my gravel. The cichlids that we're going to be putting in are not, they're a little on the small side, which is good. They will grow. So I'm going to add a little bit more gravel because they tend to like to get in and dig around. So let's make sure that we have a good fair amount of gravel in. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 3rd bag in. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to start layering our rock in. I want to try to get some shelves put in here. As we all know, cichlids like to have hiding places. They like to have tunnels. They like to be able to go in, have their own space. The more spaces that you provide them, the less they're going to fight. If you only have one place for them to gravitate to, they're all going to fight for that same spot. So we want to try to create as many places for them as we can. Okay? Okay, let's start layering in some rocks. Maybe you can see how sturdy this is. By having those flat pieces right on the glass, stacking on top of that, it's going to create a stable platform for us. Last thing we want is an avalanche. Okay, as you can see, we've got some layers. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here, is to create layers, places for these fish to get in and out of. Now, I don't want to totally leave this entire area open because of my plants, but I am going to put some rock on this side because, don't forget, these plants are gonna grow. Okay, they're not gonna stay small for very long. So don't feel like you need to, keep that entire area open. They will grow up through, and it's gonna create a very natural look. So I think what I'm gonna try to do right now is to put some life rock branch in on this other side. Could almost kind of give it a kind of like a tree root look. Okay, right now we have approximately 40 pounds of our South Seas shelf cut, and I would say that's probably around 8 or 9 pounds on the branch. That's just 3 pieces. Just gives us one more little look, and let's go ahead and start putting water in. When we're putting our water in, I want to try to pour it in as slow as possible. You don't want to dump that water right on the gravel. It's going to blow your sand or your gravel. It's going to blow it all over the place. Just makes a big mess. Takes it a lot longer to clear up. So nice and easy. Just pour it right on top of the rocks. Let those rocks be your water diffuser. Notice we have less than 10 gallons of water in. We haven't done anything. Look how clear the water is. Try our very hardest to have a very clean product, and that's what you're going to get with the Eco Complete. Not only is it washed, it does come with that beneficial bacteria too. got her filled with water. We've got our pump running. As you can see, we're looking pretty clear right now, but we're not where we want to be. So we're going to go ahead. Don't forget, we had our 3 clarifier packets. Just go ahead and empty those right into your flow area. That's going to get us crystal clear where we need to be. And the last step is going to be our Aquabiotic Botanical. This is a great product to use on a new tank scenario as well as on water changes. It's going to help denitrify, help reduce nitrates and ammonia, and it adds a little beneficial bacteria. Instructions are 1 cap full for every 10 gallons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in just 6 caps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we're going to let this run. Also, one thing that I did not show that we did is we put 2 jars of our rubble zone in this overflow area. We do that in a saltwater scenario to help grow sponges and copepods. People ask me why I would want to do that in this scenario, and the simple reason is trying to help bring our pH up. And that is one of the things that's going to do that. Not only are we using a calcium carbonate rock, our South Seas base rock, we're also going to put that rubble zone in the back. It's going to make a big difference on your pH. Alrighty, well, let's let this clear up, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, as you can see, we're all set up. We've got our lights on. We've got 27 cichlids here that were provided to us by Skins and Fins. Randy and his wife Misty were very appreciative for that. They look great in here. As you can see, our plants have held up. That was the key, to put in those plants into that mat first. We made our hole, we put our plant in, we put our gravel over top of that, and as you can see, they've held up just fine. So not an issue. These cichlids are going to grow, and so will those plants. And as those plants grow, they're going to get even more root up under that mat, making it nearly impossible for them to dig those up. Also, another modification that we made here, we took advantage of the fact that this was an overflow aquarium. Not very typical for a cichlid aquarium, but we've used it to our advantage. We filled the overflow up with 20 pounds of our rubble zone. We're still running our eShops R100 sump. We left the ARC kit set up in there. We're going to put some more plants in there for natural filtration. And then that entire skimmer compartment, we filled that up with rubble zone also. Probably will never have an issue with pH in this tank ever. All that extra calcium carbonate rock plus the South Seas rock that we're using is definitely going to cover us there. We'll go back over the products a little bit. We put our rhizomat. Then we went in with a couple pieces of our South Seas shelf rock. Went right to the glass with that. Makes a great stable platform. We went in with 60 pounds of our Eco Complete Cichlid Zac Black. It's a beautiful gravel. We did some layers with our South Seas base rock and some more shelf cut. Makes a lot of nice hiding places for them. And then we threw in a couple pieces of our Life Rock branch. Kind of gives it a little tree root look. Wasn't designed for that, but we do get a lot of calls. Customers wondering whether they can use Life Rock in a freshwater aquarium. Generally the answer would be no, due to alkalinity and pH, but with a cichlid tank, works right to our advantage. If you did not have if you were using just a traditional aquarium, hang on the back or a canister filter, one issue that more than likely will come up will be your pH. We have a great product for that. It's called the Ragamilk. A little bit goes a long way. You take one cap and dissolve it into a cup of water. So for this 65, probably 4 caps would be more than sufficient. It's going to make your water cloudy, so I recommend to people, when buffering is necessary, do it at night before you go to bed, or do it in the morning before you go to work. It's a very great product. It's very user friendly. It's one of the few products that you kind of can't overuse, but always best to follow the instructions. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this setup. I know I have. We're looking forward to doing another one. Thanks for playing along.